The worker discovered that a large amount of US dollars was hidden on the construction site. But just as he was about to take it out and count it, his colleague reminded him that it was time to get off work. In order to prevent the banknotes from being discovered, he quickly covered the cabinet door. Then he planned to come back later and take the money away. However, after all his colleagues had gone downstairs from the building, unexpectedly, the boss said that no one could enter the building again, because the building was going to be detonated in an hour. But Jack didn't want to give up those banknotes. So after the patrol car had finished its patrol, despite the danger, he climbed over the fence and broke into the building. He quickly went to the place where he had hidden the money earlier. He took out the 3 handbags from the cabinet. He quickly unzipped them. Sure enough, the bags were all filled with US dollars. The total amount in the 3 bags should be about $6 million. Jack was so excited that he danced with joy. Just as he was considering how to spend the money, suddenly there came the sound of a wall being smashed next door. It was obvious that the man had also come to look for the banknotes. So he quickly packed the banknotes. While the man walked into the next room, he sneaked out secretly. He thought he could leave smoothly. But unexpectedly, just as he was about to go downstairs, he found a group of gangsters running up. Seeing this, Jack ran back upstairs again. At this time, he accidentally kicked a fluorescent tube. The sound also revealed his position. Before the gangsters could find him, Jack hid the money in the sewer well. But just as he was about to leave, he was almost discovered by the gangsters. When the gangsters were walking towards the room, Jack suddenly disappeared. It turned out that Jack had hidden behind the curtain. He was so scared that he didn't dare to make a sound. At this time, Jack noticed that the man he had seen earlier was also hiding above, but neither of them dared to move. Fortunately, the gangsters suddenly received an order to gather downstairs. Because the gangsters had already caught Jack's colleague, the leader of the gang thought that the colleague was related to the banknotes. So he arranged for his subordinates to beat the colleague. Hearing his workmates' continuous screams, Jack stuck his head out to take a look. Unexpectedly, he found that his colleague had been killed. Jack was filled with intense anger, but his sound also exposed his presence. Therefore, he had to hide the money well for the time being, and decided to avenge his colleague. Soon, a gangster broke into the building. Then the two of them started fighting. Fortunately, Jack was a boxer. Jack kicked the robber into the elevator shaft with one kick, and successfully dealt with the robber. Jack quickly jumped into the garbage chute. He thought he had escaped the danger like this, but unexpectedly, just as he slid out of the chute, he was held hostage by the man he had seen earlier. Fortunately, the man wasn't a member of the gang. He was just interested in the banknotes. After hearing this, Jack directly started fighting with the man. Unexpectedly, the two of them were of equal strength. While they were fighting, a robber suddenly rushed over. In order to save their lives, the two of them had to raise their hands. The next second, they immediately knocked the robber's gun away. Through their combined attacks, they quickly knocked the robber to the ground. As a result, the two of them became friends. The man was a policeman. He had taken the gangster's ill-gotten money in order to treat his seriously ill daughter, but he only needed enough money to treat his daughter. Since there were all gangsters downstairs, Jack agreed to the man's request. The two of them decided to charge out together.